Hey there, you sweet soul. I hope you're well today. I want to talk about, my name is Tara. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I've been talking lately about natural law and sovereignty and practices, practical things. I have a course, a 7-week course called Be Free, where I go through and distill into 7 weeks a lot of the practical information that one would want on this journey, and a ton of resources, etc., etc. However, well, I should say and, not a but an and, my work within this work is to really bring a holistic sort of feel and a holistic perspective, and maybe a more feminine energy to this, to this work, to this field, because it can be very, practical, logical, very masculine energy. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Masculine energy is beautiful and wonderful if it's not wounded. Same with feminine. When we have wounded masculine or feminine energies, they're not balanced, but we can balance these energies. And we do need both. We have both in us, and we do need both. We are dominant polarity of energies. That's a different video. I'm not going to talk about that, but sorry, tangent. But this work inherently can be very masculine, right? So I want to bring a balance to it that allows a little bit of softness and tuning in to yourself first and foremost, right? Because once we get in the mind about taking these action steps and correcting status and, all of these different things that we might do on this journey, we can lose sight of tuning back into us. And maybe if we're trying to make a decision or we're in a relationship, then we're like, yeah, I should definitely tune in to myself and see what's going on here. But we forget to do that sometimes when, we're just in the mind about these action steps I have to take. Oh yeah, and I got to fill this out, and how do I do that? And how do I send it through the mail? And, all these things, which are all relevant and important things. So I want to talk about keeping your heart open while you are on this journey and on life's journey, on any journey. This is not exclusive to this. I just want to bring it here because this is a lot of the work that I do for myself and clients. I also do coaching and a lot of this practical sovereignty stuff that people do. It brings up a lot of inner wounding, we could say, right? That is asking to be seen and held in the light and loved and transmuted. Doesn't want to be there anymore. It doesn't need to be there anymore. We're shifting majorly. Every man and woman on this planet is shifting. The planet itself is shifting. We're all shifting to, higher states of consciousness. I say higher, more expanded is a better word for it, because it's not like a better or worse thing. It's just more expanded states of consciousness. So keeping your heart open, what does that mean? What does it feel like? What does it look like? This could be, a weekend seminar. So I'm just gonna nutshell it for you here. So we all know that the heart, we use it as a metaphor a lot of times, and the heart is something that we can feel. Not only that your heartbeat, but you can feel the energy of your heart, which does actually, there's lots and lots of studies on this, does expand beyond you, right? This field of the heart. And we tend to most people just have a pretty closed heart. And once you start tuning in and you're in touch more with your own, and your own heart is more open in the giving, receiving mode and flowing, that energy's flowing, you can sense it or see it in others, right? And most others, not a judgment, it's an observation, have their heart closed or have heart walls. And we all do, we all have that, we're alive, we're human. We've had experiences, trauma, conditioning, yada, yada. It happens. It happens for everybody. But what happens when you keep your heart open? And people think sometimes, oh, if I keep my heart open, I'll just get hurt all the time. Well, the truth is, the reason why you close and contract in your heart space or anywhere in your body is because there's fear there, because there's pain there, and there's fear of experiencing the pain again, or having to deal with it or face it or whatever. So this exercise, this practice of keeping your heart open, is not an easy thing. This is a big thing. This is a big deal. This is not a small thing. It's not a small topic. It involves a lot of surrender, which is another video that I'll do. But the first thing is like, and especially when we're learning about the systems and structures, how they've been laid out, when we're learning about all the lies we've been told, we have, and we can get really angry and like, oh my God, how could this happen? And how did people not know this? And how did this happen? How have we been so duped, right? How have I been a slave this whole time and I didn't even know it? And so you can get angry and you can tend to contract and close the heart space, which is understandable, and it will happen. But when that contraction happens, you can actually feel it in your system. You can feel when your heart is open. Just think about, when your heart is open, when you like, say you love dogs or puppies or whatever, and you see a puppy. I can just think of a dog that I love and my heart just explodes. Just like, oh my gosh, I want to like hug and kiss that dog, right? So your kids, whatever it is, you can feel your heart opening. And then think about something that has hurt you in your life and your heart closes, right? It's just this, you can feel it. It's easy to do once you tune in. So feel that contraction. That's the first thing. Feel the contraction. And then you have to make a conscious choice not to close it and to keep it open. Keep it on. There's nothing worth closing your heart over. That's a big statement, I know. But when we close it, it just keeps us where we are. It keeps us, we're not expanding, we're not growing, we're not learning, we're not loving, we're not being the love that we are. This is a way to actually experience everything, and it takes time. It takes time to keep your heart open and to breathe and go, it's okay, I'm safe. It's okay to keep my heart open. I'm angry. I'm here standing at the DMV with this woman, and I'm really pissed off, or whatever it is, right? Very understandable. You want to close your heart and just be, jabby right back. Yes, I get it, of course. But in that moment, you can choose to keep your heart open and just allow the experience to happen. And, you may not want to deal with the pain right in that moment of whatever is going to come up once you keep your heart open, but you can shelf it for later. Right? You can go, okay, that's a trigger. I'm triggered by this experience. I'm going to look at that later. But right now, I'm just going to try and keep my heart open, right? So this is about surrender. This is about not fearing what is in you that wants to close your heart. The reason you want to close your heart is because you don't want to be hurt and you want to protect yourself. You want to protect yourself. And that's the ego. And you don't need to protect yourself. There's nothing to fear. Like, and I know this is a really big topic. I'm not making light of it or invalidating all the stuff that goes. This is a lifelong practice, but I just wanted to put it out here, especially when we're doing this work and we can tend to close and get pissed off and angry and, just walk around with that kind of aggressive, like, I'm going to show them kind of energy. You know what I mean? Which you can do all these things in that energy. You can choose that. I'm not saying don't choose that or that you can't choose that, but it's a suffering experience. It's a suffering experience. If you want a peaceful experience, if you want a peaceful, more joyful experience and still be able to feel everything and not disconnect from yourself or others, right? Then this is one way to do that, is to keep your heart open. So give it a try, see how it goes. Leave me a comment below if you'd like, if you have any questions, if there's anything you'd like to hear from me about or talk about. I am happy to talk about specific practical things as well. But I'm just, my sort of call now is to bring a different energy to the space, this sort of sovereignty space. So yeah. Sending you guys so much love.